Good morning, friends. This is Father Tim. It's Wednesday, the 15th of October. It really is morning. It doesn't feel like it. It's pretty dark out still, but alas, here we are. And we begin this morning with continuing in our reading of the book of First Kings. We are in chapter 2. We'll be resuming at verse 36 this morning of chapter 2. So here we are, first 11 chapters, Solomon's reign as king in place of his father David. It's still fairly new at this point. The first two chapters are all about the succession. So Solomon has not been king for long at this point in the story. We're going to pick up with reading about a man who during the revolt of Absalom cursed David. David had told Solomon how to handle this man. It's an interesting part of the story. Interesting, well, kind of in a bizarre kind of way. But, well, friends, let's read. And thank you for reading with us this morning. Chapter 2, verse 36. That's our resumption point. And thank you for Okay, good. Sound check's good. All right. I'll be reading from the left-hand column, which is the Complete Jewish Bible. And in the right-hand column, you see the text of the New Revised Standard Version Updated Edition. Let's get our timer up and in place. Let's read. Verse 36 is our starting point. And yes, Complete Jewish Bible, it's a Jewish Bible, so sometimes things are expressed in ways common to Judaism, but not common to Christianity. And so I'll explain those things that perhaps sound foreign, different when they come up. Let's read. Resuming at verse 36. The king summoned Shimei and said to him, "Build yourself a house in Jerusalem, and live there. Don't go outside the city walls. Know for a fact that on the day you go out and cross Wadi Kidron, you will certainly die. Your blood will be on your own head." Shimei answered the king, What you have said is good. As my lord the king has said, so will your servant do. Shimei lived in Jerusalem for a long time. But after 3 years, two of Shimei's slaves ran away and went to Achish, son of Maacah, king of Gath. Gath is Gath. Other than that, I think everything's pretty clear in there. So Shimei set out, saddled his donkey, and went to Achish in Gath to look for his slaves. Then Shimei returned, bringing his slaves from Gath. Shlomo, remember that Solomon, was told that Shimei had gone from Yerushalayim to Gath and back. The king summoned Shimei and said to him, "Didn't I have you swear by Adonai and forewarn you by telling you, know for a fact that on the day you leave and go anywhere outside the city, you will certainly die? And you answered me, what you're saying is good. I hear it. Why then haven't you kept the oath of Adonai in the mitzvah I charged you with?" Moreover, the king said to Shimei, "You know in your own heart all the terrible things you did to David my father. Therefore Adonai will bring back your wickedness on your head. But King Shlomo will be blessed, and the throne of David will be established before Adonai forever." So the king gave the order to Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, and he went out and struck him down, so that he died. Thus the kingdom was established in Solomon's hands. First Kings chapter 3, that's where we're going next. I paused the timer for a moment because we're going to take a look at the big picture before we jump into reading chapter 3 because, well, there's a new section to consider. Chapter 3. Ah, yes, we're now coming into these two chapters that focus on the request for wisdom. Solomon asks for wisdom, and yes, this will lead then to chapters 5 through 8, the building of the temple. Shlomo formed an alliance with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, by marrying Pharaoh's daughter. He brought her into the city of David, where she lived, until he had finished building his own palace. The house of Adonai, which, remember, Adonai, by the way, is just, it's like us saying in English God. It's used in place of the sacred name of God. You look here, NRSV, capital, large case, capital L, smaller cases, capitals ORD. That is the Hebrew name of God, the sacred name, the name that is considered so sacred that it is not speakable by mere mortals. And so the complete Jewish Bible puts in its place Adonai, which is just a general reference to God, but not the divine name. So this opening verse has hinted to the fact that, as I mentioned, we looked at this. The building of the temple is coming. Just a little spoiler of what's coming. Verse 2, the people, however, were still sacrificing on the high places, because no house had yet been built for the name of Adonai. Shlomo loved Adonai, living according to the regulations set forth by David his father. Nevertheless, he sacrificed and made offerings on the high places. Well, yeah, because there was no other place yet. Verse 4. One time the king went to Gibeon, to sacrifice there because that was the main high place. Shlomo offered 1,000 burnt offerings on the altar there. At Gibeon, Adonai appeared to Shlomo in a dream at night. God said, "Tell me what I should give you." Shlomo said, You showed your servant David, my father, much grace, as he lived before you honestly and righteously, having an upright heart with you. You preserved this great grace for him by giving him a son to sit on his throne, as is the case today. So now, Adonai, my God, you have made your servant king in the place of David, my father. But I am a mere child. I don't know how to lead. There's a word for this, and it's humility. Solomon is not a mere child. He is a grown man. He knows how to lead. And remember, in the opening chapter, David affirms that he knows what to do. David affirmed the wisdom of his son Solomon. So, yeah, let's just keep in mind this is humility. Verse 8. Moreover, your servant is among your people whom you chose, a great people so numerous that they can't be counted, that they cannot be counted. Therefore, give your servant an understanding heart, able to administer justice to your people, so that I may discern between good and bad, for who is equal to judge this great people of yours? Discernment, the gift to discern between good and bad. Or as the NRSV puts it, to discern between good and evil. It's not really quoting the text, but what jumps into my head, and we're going to close on this. Next time we'll pick up at verse 10 here of chapter 3. What jumps into my head is it's almost as if The man and the woman whom we know as Adam and Eve had a restriction against eating of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Don't do it. Don't eat it. And the new king is asking, let me eat this fruit. Let me know the difference. Let me know the difference that I might carry out what you have placed upon me to lead this people. It's quite incredible. We'll pick up next time at verse 10. Have a blessed day, dear friends. Prayers in a moment as the morning light starts to ever so slightly increase. Peace be with you.